CSL Primetime is brought to you by Jovova Sports Uniforms and Apparel. Jovova, giving you sports experience for a lifetime. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastiavansky. This is Jovova CSL Primetime. Welcome. I hope everybody had a great long weekend. Coming up, Jason DeThomasis will join me here in the studio to break down the weekend's games. Also, I'll have a feature story on Milton SC. That's coming up later. But first, Jovova game highlights. And after rocketing out of the gate this season, Toronto Atomic came back to earth with a thud recently. They got as high as second in the standings, but a three-game losing streak had them slipping fast, and they were looking for answers last Saturday as they took on a red-hot Scarborough squad that was unbeaten in 4. Game highlights now, brought to you by Jovova Sports Uniforms and Apparel. Jovova, giving you sports experience for a lifetime. Atomic had lost its last 3 games and were outscored 9-1 over that stretch. Early on, Orlevsky Zaitz from in close. Ouch. Misses though. Kirill Dimitrov, the former Bulgarian First Division pro, slices through Atomic like a warm knife through butter. So smooth, but Dobrin Orlovsky can't finish it off. Still scoreless. Seconds later, it's Dimitrov to Orlovsky again, but once again, Orlovsky just can't get it to go. Second half, Atomic starts to warm up. Nazani Drehan with the nice cross inside here, but Imatakura just gets his fingertips on it to make the save. Moments later, it's Jonathan Jebison, just back from injury, nearly comes back in style, but slides the shot just wide. And then it's Jebison again, sweet moves, but once again, slides it just wide of the goalpost. Watch this sequence. Looks like Zaitz cuts down Dobrin Orlovsky. No whistle. Play continues down the field. Scarborough can't believe there was no call. Eventually, Terry Dunfield with the finish. Scarborough livid, Atomic ecstatic, and Toronto goes up 1-0 after 76. Back to Jefferson. So dangerous on this light, but just no luck. Yet another close miss. Scarborough tries to pad its lead in the 86th minute, but Hikura comes up huge to stop Drehan. But Atomic puts this baby to bed in the 88th minute. Nice feed here for Drehan, and this time he makes no mistake. So Atomic bounces back after a rough stretch. They really needed these 3 points. 2-0 your final from Birchmount Stadium. Scarborough, chance after chance on this night, but they just couldn't break the seal, and they end up getting shut out. Well, so far this season, there's been York Region and everybody else. The Shooters have been playing at a whole different level than the rest of the league. Heading into last weekend, York had a pristine 9-0 record and were the last remaining unbeaten team in the CSL. So it was a tall task facing expansion team FC Ukraine last Saturday. However, they weren't intimidated by the York Region juggernaut. York Region's offense has been out of this world so far. 23 goals in just 9 games, and they come out swinging. Richard West fights off the defender, hits David Guzman, but Nazar Litvin manages to stop it and smother it. Most of the good chances took place in the second half. West, tied for the CSL lead in goals, nearly pulls into the lead, but Litvin stymies him from in close. Shortly after, Justin Sosha forgets to tuck his arm in, and it's really tough to argue that one. Referee points to the spot, penalty. But Emmanuel Hamiltonis was the man all game for York Region. Huge save on Ole Kirchu, and he rightly gets a round of thank yous from his boys. And the Hamiltonis show continues. Here he robs top sniper Sergei Ivliev for Ukraine. Another great save. And back the other way we go. David Guzman, so fast, turns on the Jets, tees it up from 25 yards out, but easy save for Litvin, who saw it all the way. And then it's Hamiltonis shining once again. This might be the best of the bunch. Point blank on Shutov. Absolutely gorgeous stop. York's Alexander Stojanovsky shows off the nice footwork here, but he gets denied by Litvin from in close. And then it's Guzman trying his luck from well out again, but gets great leather on it. Litvin equal to the task and deflects it just over top of the bar. One last gasp for York. West to Stojanovsky. Litvin right there, though, to punch it away. Great game this was from St. Joan of Arc, Ukraine. As mentioned, showing no fear this season. They may be an expansion team, but this is not a squad that just sits back. And they go toe-to-toe with York and come away with the nil draw. Okay, let's take a look at the top scores right now, brought to you by the York Region Shooters Academy. Train with the professionals. Head to yorkregionshooters.com for more information, and we've got a tie at the top still. Sergei Ivliev and Richard West with 8 goals apiece. Adnan Smack and Stefan Vukovich tied in third with 6 goals, and Adnan Vukovich and Alex Stojanowski of York Region tied in 5th with 5 goals. Welcome back to Jovova CSL Primetime. Well, don't look now, but the Serbian White Eagles are starting to crank it up. After a slow start to the season, the Eagles have been flying high, if you'll pardon the pun, over the last few weeks. They were unbeaten in 3 when they faced a struggling Milton squad last weekend, and they continued their dominant ways. This game was actually held in Niagara Falls. There was a huge Serbian picnic going on, and fans spilled over into the stands to take in the game at night. It made for a great atmosphere, and the Serbs made sure they put on a show. 28th minute, Milo Stepanovic splits the Milton defense, but hammers it just over top of the crossbar. 32nd minute, though, they draw first blood. The Serbs do. Free kick. Goran Svanja right there for the header. And Serbia takes a 1-0 lead. Just 2 minutes later, though, Lucky Magori with the sweet feed to Adnan Smack out front, and the Smack man notched things up at 1 apiece through 34 minutes of play. Just 2 minutes after that, though, White Eagles corner kick, Vidomir Jelic with the header. Serbs retake the lead, and they go up 2-1, and they want more. Radenko Kaderovic so close, but Boris Balinovic right there to make the goal line stand and save the goal. Second half was all Serbia. Svanja tries his luck from well out, but Zoran Puzichka sees it all the way and gets down to make the nice stop. He sees this one too, but there's nothing he can do about it. Georgi Josic from about 25 yards out, packing some heat, rings it off the crossbar though. The onslaught continues. Milton's defense lapsing a bit. Puzichka though gets down in time to bail out his boys, and then Stepanovic tries his luck from the top of the box here, but he smokes it just wide. Golden chance for the Serbs to pad their lead in the 83rd minute. Marko Merovic gets chopped down inside the box, and the referee wastes no time in pointing to the spot. So Serbia's main man Stepanovic on the line, but rings it off the iron. So Milton's not dead yet until the 88th minute. Josic with the smooth moves. He dials long distance, blows it past Puzichka. He had a great game, so it was only fitting that he notched at least one. Big win for the White Eagles in front of an appreciative Serbian crowd. 3-1 they take it. The Serbs now unbeaten in 3. Afterwards, Milton's lone goal scorer, Adnan Smack, was happy with the goal, but not the end result. His team's been playing better recently, but he felt this was a bit of a step back.
We did get 1 goal. It was a nice cross from Lucky Mahori. I scored from the box, and it was a good goal. But unfortunately, we got the 3 goals, so we lost. Lately, we're playing a little bit better, so we have a last game win. So I hope we're gonna continue that. I'm very sad because we lost today, so I hope it's gonna be better in the future.
Well, Hamilton City and the Brantford Galaxy have been the CSL's underachievers so far this season. Both squads are stacked with veteran talent, both have elite players from abroad, and both were mired in the bottom half of the standings when they faced off last weekend. So needless to say, both teams needed to break out in a big way. Hamilton and Brantford 6th and 7th in the standings respectively. Unacceptable when you've got this much talent. Early on, Brantford test keeper Adrian Becic, he handles it easily though and makes the stop. 8th minute, City trying its luck. Miroslav Gabriel gets free for the header in front, just over top of the bar though. A bit of controversy then in the 31st minute. Stefan Vukovich gets fouled, or does he? Tough to tell. The ref throws in a yellow to boot. Brantford fans not happy, and they liked this even less. Joseph Karen ensuing free kick. Oh baby. Scintillating strike from 25 yards out. Beautiful. City go up 1-0. Shortly after, though, Alejandro Uribe with the UFC-worthy takedown in the box. And there's not much question about that one. Nenad Nikolic makes it a mere formality, and they're all tied up at 1 apiece. The second half, though, Hamilton retakes the lead. Cabrillo, way too much time and space here. He feeds Igor Kramar, who slots it home, and Hamilton back on top 2-1 after 73 minutes. But then it's Stefan Vukovich going to work for the Galaxy, the 2011 CSL Golden Boot winner, showing why he's still one of the best in the league. Coolly slides it home. Brantford knots it up again, and that's how it finishes. 2-2 your final. Afterwards, Brantford coach Tomo Dancedovic was happy with the effort, but knows his squad is going to have to up its game this coming weekend against top-ranked York Region.
We're next playing Shooters in Toronto. It's going to be tough. Shooters in the top. We have to work a little bit harder, be more aggressive in the middle. And we're improving. Like we're 7th position now on the 7th, but I think this thing can climb up. Every game it's a little bit better and better.
And before we go to break, let's take a look at the league table where all the teams currently sit. York Region still on top, although they do get their first tie of the season, still undefeated, followed by Atomic, Scarborough, FC Ukraine, the White Eagles, Hamilton City, Brantford Galaxy, and Milton currently on the bottom with 6 points. Welcome back to Jovova CSL Primetime. Alex Bachivansky in the studio, joined now by Jason DeThomasis for his weekly breakdown. Good weekend, a good long weekend for you there?
Yeah, pretty good. A lot of matches, but good weekend.
A lot of matches. We got to catch up now. A lot of stuff to catch up on, actually. So let's get to DT's breakdown, brought to you by Days Inn, official hotel of the Canadian Soccer League. And we're going to start off with Brantford and Hamilton. You know, as we discussed before, two squads desperately in need of something to happen, just playing under par, both of them. And they finally cranked up the offense last weekend, didn't they?
You know what, 2-2 game. It was a cagey game, but 2 goals from both teams considering how their season's gone so far. It's been a good performance.
Joseph Karen, a guy that you remember sort of borderline from when you were playing, but he's definitely a Canadian Soccer League legend. This guy played for Toronto, Croatia before. Incredible defender. Essential to Hamilton. What a free kick he knocked home there in the second half.
Well, as cool as they kill him, like the ball's sitting there 30 yards out, looks up, top corner, goalie had no chance.
Major outbursts from both these teams, actually. 2 goals apiece, if you can believe it. In years past, it wouldn't be so, but for this year, these teams are just starved for goals, aren't they? So to get 2 goals apiece is actually an outburst for them.
Yeah, you know what? Even 1 goal would be good, but 2 goals is confidence going forward. It was a good draw for both teams, and we'll see what happens.
Stefan Vukovich, the main man for Brantford, continues to make things happen. He's their leading goal scorer, and he notches his 6th of the season.
You know what? It's good for him, obviously. Like to see some more output from other players, but
a little more balance.
He's continuing his role, and you know what? Good for him. 6 goals.
Serbia Milton, and this one was actually really cool. What happened was they had a big Serbian picnic, so they moved the game from Milton into Niagara Falls. That day, and which was great because they actually arranged it that way so that everyone moved over from the picnic to the game, and the stands were actually packed. It was a great Serbian atmosphere.
Yeah, you know, it was pro-Serbian, but it's good to have the local community involved. Fantastic atmosphere, like you said, and it's fun to play in front of. It's amazing.
Kind of gave you chills and took you back about 10 years back to the day when the Serbs first came into the league, actually, so it was pretty cool. Serbs playing much better as of late, and you mentioned you knew it wasn't going to happen for long, that they were going to be down. They seem to be recovering nicely. Milos Stepanovic kind of snake-bitten on the day. He missed a few chances, including a penalty shot. But Georgi Josic hit that crackerjack right off the crossbar from well out, and then made up for it afterwards by knocking the goal home from several yards out as well. He had a great game.
Yeah, you know what? He was persistent. He should have scored the first goal, kept it going, and he, to his credit, got the 3rd goal of the game and looked great.
One-timer from well out, though. That was just a fantastic shot, wasn't it, off the crossbar? Too bad it didn't go in. Serbs allowed just 14 goals in 10 games, second best in the CSL. Their defense is doing really well.
Yeah, you know what? Their defense has kept them in the league thus far. Like we said, they've had limited offensive production, but with the defense, the way it's been playing, it's been keeping them in the middle of the table.
Really quick to point out, Milton's Adnan Smack again scores for the team. He's been absolutely fantastic, but he's now got 9 of the 13 goals on the year. Fantastic totals for him, but they really need some more balanced scoring, don't they?
Yeah, do you know what? It's if you depend on one person, if there's an injury, if there's any kind of drought for him, it's going to be a huge detriment to the team. So a little bit more balance of play would be to their benefit, of course.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Now let's move on to Toronto Atomic and Scarborough. Now Atomic bounces back in a big way with a 2-0 win. They needed that after losing 3 straight games, and we were impressed with Atomic earlier on in the season, but they really needed to get one back, and they got it.
Yeah, do you know what? They've had a couple of losses, but coming back out of this game, they showed that they are a good team in the league, and to have a shutout, it's great for them.
Terry Dunfield, big surprise. Atomic's main signing, the big signing in the Canadian Soccer League over the season, former Canadian international, former TFC guy, former Montreal Impact, I believe, no, Vancouver Whitecaps, pardon me. He's missed a few games this year, but every game he's played, he's had an impact, and he scored another goal.
Yeah, it shows his value. He steps in. He's been away for a couple of games. It's like he hasn't missed a beat. He comes in and he leads the team again.
Scarborough, no shortage of scoring chances in the game for these guys. They couldn't convert on the day. One guy who continues to impress is owner-player Kirill Dimitrov. I mean, I know he's not ancient by any means, at I think 31 years old, but the guy is just former First Division pro in Bulgaria, just shows his talent on the pitch there. I mean, the guy's as quick with the ball as he is without it. He's been incredible.
Yeah, you know what? Credit to him. And Scarborough as a team, like, their wide play was fantastic. They're getting balls in the box, but it just wasn't going for them.
York Region, Ukraine. We got to move on to our very last game here. And the first blemish on York Region's record so far this year, so they're not going to have they might have an undefeated season, but they're not going to be completely unblemished on the years. They end up with a tie against Ukraine, so 9 wins and a tie now for them. But we continue to be impressed by Ukraine, the first-year team that just has absolutely no fear so far.
Yeah, you know what? They've been on a roll, and it's still going on for them. They go into York Region, and they show the team that, you know what, it hasn't been a fluke thus far, and they should have won that game, to be honest.
And if not for Emil Tonis in goal, a few huge saves. You remember him from back in your day, and he continues to bring it in net, doesn't he? Some great saves.
Fantastic PK save. You know what? It could have been a little bit more in the corner, but credit to the keeper. Low save, and other huge saves in the game too. Okay, we've got less than 30 seconds here. Really quick though, you played for York Region back in the day, and a hallmark of York Region was always defense. Only 4 goals allowed so far this year. They've been outstanding, haven't they? You know what? It's bragging rights. In practice, that's one thing. Keepers always play against each other. Defense loves to brag about it, and it's a fantastic thing to see it's continuing on, and it's the league best so far. Awesome. Great coverage, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you. We'll do it again next week. More CSL Primetime coming up in just a moment.
Welcome back to Jovova CSL Primetime. Milton SC has had a rough go of things so far this year. After winning its first game of the season, Milton went nearly a full 2 months before notching its second. Yes, this team is a work in progress, but with one of the league's top snipers and a new core that's finally starting to gel, don't count out Milton as a dark horse down the stretch. Milton SC, this week's Teen Spotlight brought to you by Olympic Trophies, official trophy supplier to the Canadian Soccer League. After qualifying for the postseason in 2015, its first year in the CSL's top division, Milton SC is finding the going a bit tougher its second time around. Currently, the squad sits dead last in the standings, but with an influx of new players from around the globe, Milton is still getting its feet wet and developing that all-important chemistry.
There's room for improvement. More practice sessions, getting to know each other. We could only get stronger. When you got guys speaking Bosnian, Croatian, you got guys speaking French, you got guys speaking English, Spanish. Soccer is a universal language. It's just getting to know each other and keep playing. You only get stronger.
They don't want to give up. You know, even if we're losing the game, they don't want to give up. They're playing 95 minutes instead of 90. You know, that's what I like about them.
Up front, Milton boasts one of the CSL's most lethal weapons, striker Adnan Smack. At just 24 years of age, he's one of the league's top scorers this year and brings an impressive resume from overseas.
He's young, but he has lots of experience. Even he used to play for Bosnian national team under 16, 17. To have a player like that in the team who's playing up front, I mean striker, forward, the guy who can decide the game, I mean, a lot of games in our favor.
He's the big guy up front, and he brings a lot. He has a very deadly left foot shot, and which I enjoy seeing him from the back. They give him the ball, and you're guaranteed to see some magic. Shot accuracy, power, placement. He has all of this.
Better team than last week, eh? Better team than last week.
Definitely. Next week we have 2 games, but let's be focused on this one. Okay, boys?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Where Milton needs to up its game is spreading out the scoring. Smack has 9 of the team's 13 goals this year. There are other significant weapons up front. Lucky Magori has a dynamite left foot and has notched 2 goals. Mohamed is a towering presence, a CSL veteran who's been terrorizing defenders for years. And on the back end, St. Lucia native Leon O'Reilly anchors the defense.
Basically, with his speed in defense, he's one of the key players in our team.
I adopted a position of playing center back, which I used to be a full back, and I adopted it because of my coach. He put me in there, needed help, and I slotted in pretty much just my experience I plays on, and also my quick pace, which the knowledge of the game for years playing, that I do understand the game and could read the game. So from the back, looking from the back, I could dictate the game.
Milton received a boost 2 weeks ago with their second win of the campaign over a stacked Hamilton City squad. O'Reilly feels that once the team gels, it's just a matter of time before a move up the standings is inevitable.
This team has the chance. We have the players where we could come out on top and win the league, and I'm looking forward to it. It's time we need to just gel. We come out there and play 100%, and then we're gonna challenge this league. I hope at the end of the season we're #1, and we're going for #1.
And just before we go, let's take a look at our top 5 plays of the week. Number 5, Serbia's Georgi Josic against Milton from 22 yards out, hammers it home, and that was the insurance goal in a 3 White Eagles win over Milton. Number 4, Sunday was Emmanuel Hamilton's day. Seriously, he had 3 massive saves against Ukraine. There's the first one on Sergei Ivliev. Then number 3, penalty shot. Hamiltonis robs Ole Kirchu beautiful, and then rightly gets congrats from his boys afterwards. And number 2, and this is the best of the bunch for Hamiltonis, point blank on Ole Shutov. Incredible reflexes. What a fantastic day by Hamiltonis. But number 1, we had to give it to Hamilton's Joseph Karen. Free kick from 25 yards out. That thing had eyes. Incredible, and it's definitely our CSL play of the week. And we've run out of time for this week. Just remember, though, you can always head to CanadianSoccerLeague.ca to get all your up-to-date league information, at CSL_soccer on Twitter, and Jovova Canadian Soccer League on Facebook. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you next week.